Quarter Life Critics. Back again with my two best friends, Grant.
What's going on?
And Patrick.
What's up?
Quarter Life Critics, the only show where we review the best TV and film the world has to offer. And sometimes a little more too. Haven't put that one in there for a while.
Some other stuff too.
And as you guys know, every episode of this wonderful show, we pick a director to guide us through this journey. This journey of intellectual thought, of pondering, of some what the F's. And this week, the director is none other than Mr. Manning. Sir P. Manning. So I'm gonna hand it over to you, Pat. What are we talking about today?
Thank you. It is my honor and privilege to bestow upon you this podcast today. We are discussing, reviewing, tearing to shreds, and building back up Blade 2, the sequel to our former podcast from 2 weeks ago, which
Blade
was
1.
Blade, the original.
Oh, Blade.
Blade 1.
This came out, I think, 3 years after the fact in 2002. And it was similar in a lot of ways, which we'll get into. But, they changed it up a little bit. They brought in some new fresh faces, new director. Wesley Snipes is still doing his, leather black thing. But Grant, why don't you lay it down? What's this movie all about?
This movie's, it's it's building on what Blade is and what Wesley Snipes is, and I like how the beginning is getting the duo back together. So
if you had like a synopsis or some sort, how would you describe this film?
The synopsis here is Blade forms an uneasy alliance with the vampire council in order to combat the Reapers who are feeding on vampires. Essentially, there's a new kid on the block. It's the Reapers, and they not only kill humans, but they kill vampires as well.
And they're ugly as fuck.
They don't have their jaw splits open. They feed from their neck, essentially. But the vampires are so scared, of this new creature that's hunting their whole race that they propose to team up with Wesley Snipes' Blade. A rare truce to fight a greater evil, the Reapers. Or is that a better synopsis?
I loved it. That was great. In the beginning, they were like...
I thought you were asking me what my take was on the film. But
even the way they brought about the truce, they invaded his home with swords like that, and then it's a bad foot to start with.
They're like ninjas at the beginning.
Yeah, and they're they're fighting him.
The same people? I thought they were like a new enemy.
Yeah, they looked like more cyber tech.
It was with their Black Panther
eyes.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool.
That was cool. I mean, that one thing that I gotta say that I feel, I don't know if it's true, but I feel like this film either was influenced by or has influenced just like techno and techno garb. I feel like I didn't really put together that like techno clubbers, black, and vampires just they match
sunglasses,
so well.
leather jackets.
Yeah, I kind of like, I know they open Blade with that club, but they don't really like touch on it too much. I really like the club scene here too. You're like, okay, yeah, these vampires like to fucking party to some techno, bro. There's some techno kids.
Vampires are sexy.
Or was that the 90s too? Is this a culture thing?
I think it's too late. I think it's too late to have influenced it though.
Yeah.
I think it was taking on, what they were seeing in pop culture. But who knows?
Just like big baggy clothes,
mm-hmm.
The leather jackets. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I think it's always kind of been like, you go out at night, black dress, black, just black is like kind of cool. Mysterious, slimming.
Clubbing. Yeah. kind of blend in the club a little bit.
Those people are having a great time. The girls like, what?
There's always a chick getting sucked out of the corner.
There's a lot of like, I don't know, that like muzzing type where they're like, dun, dun. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I'm familiar with muzzing.
Been on TikTok.
Quinn, what did you think?
Yeah.
What was your initial feel?
This movie, I thought it had a lot of potential. I really liked the plot on paper or the big picture. The pitch. If someone was pitching it, they were like, "Yeah, the zombie, Deacon Frost. What could be? You want to raise the stakes a bit, see what's going on there, and you say, hey, we're gonna create another monster, and it's going to be stronger than the vampires, and they can kill vampires." I think that's pretty cool. I think you can go a lot of different ways in this with this, but I thought it was executed.
Where'd they go wrong?
A bit poorly. There were just too many dumb things, too many inconsistencies. I would have even preferred it. I hated the twist, first of all.
Oh, I hated the twist.
Like,
I liked, what's the name? Scud.
Scud?
Scud. Is that the twist you're talking about?
No, that one, I thought that was even a little too heavy-handed. I was like, who's this new guy? Norman Reedus, by the way, who was, that was cool. Seeing him
that was cool.
A lot younger. I was like, who's this new guy? They got Whistler
Same
back.
look, though. He's consistent.
And like one of the first lines, Whistler's yelling at the dude. He's like, "I don't trust you." I was like, that was a bit in your face. They kind of made you do a little bit of a double take when Whistler goes missing somewhere in the middle of the film. You're like, what the hell was he up to? Why did he found these Reapers? And Scud's the one that's under attack, but I don't think I trusted that guy.
I didn't trust Whistler, honestly. Like I had it flipped, like because I was like like the hostage, like did he get turned? Is he really him?
Exactly. Yeah.
That was where my mind was at. I was like, new guy. I was fine with him, but then when he turned, I was like,
actually liked the new guy a lot. I liked him.
And then he died immediately.
That was pretty funny. Yeah.
It's like, fuck you.
What? Who?
Scud.
It's not a dud.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like immediately after it was revealed he was the enemy.
He's dead. He didn't really do much.
No.
He was just.
And his line where he's like, because he's a familiar, he's like, "I'd rather be a pet than like
a slave or something,
a slave or a creature or something."
Cattle.
Yeah, the cattle.
Immediately dies.
Be a pet than cattle.
Your owners did not protect you.
And now that I'm thinking about it, he's the one who designed the bomb. So why? I mean, why would it have gone off? Like, if it's a dud, like he designed it, did he forget that he left?
Maybe Blade knew all along or something.
Because I guess Wesley Snipes knew he was, or allegedly knew he was turned, so he probably was double checking the tech because Wesley Snipes can do all that stuff.
Trust, but verify.
No, the twist I did not like was the whole Reapers were created purposefully, and how Nomak was this outcast who also wanted to get back at his father. Like he wanted revenge, and it sucked being a Reaper. I didn't really realize it was that bad to be a Reaper until the very end. Like no one was really complaining or like in pain. They have an extra boosted thirst.
And they're like crack addicts.
Yeah, maybe they're shunned by society.
That's why they looked like that. They looked like crack addicts, so like I guess makes sense.
And they looked like the main vampire dude. And at one point I was like, I couldn't figure it out. I didn't really get it. I was like, why does the main like Nomak, he's bald and he's alien looking.
Vascular.
And so does the head vampire guy, the father of Nissa.
Yeah.
I just thought it was stupid. It just.
You know what it reminds me of now that you say it, Quinn? It's
What?
like they took something that was bigger. It was so big. It was a whole new race that was, attacking, and the stakes are high, and they have to team up with Blade, which is against all odds, and you're expecting a lot out of it. And then it just like kind of falls flat because it becomes political, and just like now it's just about the corrupt like father trying to take power, and he doesn't care about his kids. It's a big,
it's even less than political.
Yeah, it's less.
It's like
political.
petty family drama.
And I feel like a very famous, television series that went wrong is Game of Thrones. As we were built up for season after season about a great threat that everyone has to team up against all odds together and ban into each other, and then that was eliminated like that, and then they made it about stupid petty like politics or drama, and you're just like, dude, you build up all these stakes of something that's bigger than life.
Cool villain.
You have to, you have to put aside, your pride, and then that's gone, and then it's back to pride. It's disappointing, and
Even Blade calls it in the beginning of the film. He's like, they're gonna fuck me over. No, they're gonna fuck me over the first time they can, or something. Like they know they're in this trap, and they're going into it saying, "Oh, we can get to the inside. We can see things we've never seen."
Blade and
shit
Whistler.
like that. Yeah, just the whole plot of the movie. It's like
there's no like next step being thought about. Like how like why. Why? What do they want to see this for?
Yeah, it's like a little autopilot kind of.
I also don't like films. This is maybe a bad bias where you like go all over the world. And you're like, we gotta go to the Czech Republic, Russia, and Moscow, and like I don't think they were in the same. They just magically find these people. I don't. Maybe that was similar to the first one too, but in this one, it's felt especially like, I don't know, how are you traveling the world? Nitpicking
overnight.
Just whoosh. I mean, Blade can't fly. They can't fly.
No.
So do you guys?
Sorry. I was just.
Do you guys feel
speaking of flying? Why don't we see any vampires turn to bats? Why is that not? That's some vampire lore. They got the garlic,
Grant,
the silver.
You got to go back to the first movie.
Come on,
and what do they say? You can't believe all that shit in the movies.
Come on, Grant.
But they got garlic.
You're really
they pick
on this
garlic over bats.
You really. Anytime they say the word garlic, you're like, I can't get behind this.
Funny.
Bat changing someone into a bat. That's a lot more money in the animation. Post production that costs a lot more. Garlic in the syringe, cheap.
It's a TV series that I enjoy a lot, but I don't think it helps the rewatches for Blade. Is What We Do in the Shadows. I feel like vampires. Vampires are such a good thing to parody. It's like, I don't know. I from this first app, like from first,
it's hard
Blade,
taking them seriously.
It's hard to take. Well, I don't know if I ever would have taken it seriously, but maybe.
True Blood, vampires, so good.
Really?
So good. It's like
I know it's on HBO.
Yeah, it's like gritty, deep south, like some southern vampires.
I feel like I've watched that by proxy. I know. I think that the midlife past older members of what am I trying to say here? Mine and Pat's dad.
Oh.
Well, I think both watched True Blood.
I watched it on my own though, because I never watched it. Yeah,
and later or at the time?
Later.
Okay.
And I was like, "Dang, this is so good." All right, back on track. Director Pat, Director Hat, snapping the clapboard. Thank you.
Yep.
So, in the first film, I felt we all came to a consensus. Good beginning. Went a little went a little wild by the end. This movie, they brought a new director, Guillermo del Toro. He's got quite a resume after the fact. He's fresh off Hellboy, which Ron Perlman was in this movie as well. That was Hellboy. Did we feel like that created any differences? Could you guys tell it was, a different person was leading it?
I think so. There was a different... I think I actually saw some Guillermo del Toro references or kind of themes from the goriness, actually, and the gruesome shots of some of the shit. I thought this film was a lot more gruesome and gory, and just even the chin, and I felt like it reminded me of Pan's Labyrinth, like some of the creatures in that. So that was really the only thing that like jumped out at me is like a Del Toro signature, or but yeah, I think that was the main thing. I don't know enough of his films to tell you like if his cinematography I don't know, I didn't know it was his cinematography, I guess, in this. I don't really know his signatures.
I agree with you, like with the Pan's Labyrinth, I think the nightmare kind of feel.
Yeah.
Did feel a little bit more like psychological, horror with the pairing with the gore and the other, parts of the violence. Quinn, did you feel like you could tell a difference?
It's hard. I wish I paid more attention to the specifics. To me, it felt a little just less cool. Wow. I thought a lot of the fight scenes were great. I thought there was a lot of fighting, a lot of killing, a lot of beat 'em up, smack 'em up, deaths.
There were long fight scenes.
Fight scenes. But I felt it was more of a maybe closer to Marvel, where there was like more cuts, a lot of things were happening. It wasn't that old school kind of simple, just bam, bam, watching two people fight for a while. So maybe it was more reminiscent of a current action or superhero film. But yeah, I think there is a difference because, if you're the director, you're making the cuts, you're messing with the dialogue. If it sounds dumb, you change it. If you have a lot of control. So the fact that I think I like one more than the other, I'd say could be due to the director.
Cool. All right, we've got some clips here for our next segment. I think we're gonna see some of these cool fight scenes. So we're gonna start with Quinn's.
All right,
let's
just let it. These are all kills. These are scenes. I think the scene will speak for itself. While we figure out our technology. I also don't think we are. I lied. We are not live, but we are recording, so this will be up.
My bad.
That's not. No, it's someone else.
Not your bad.
Someone else is going to get us spanking.
So when it says 99%,
you guys see?
Sorry. Yep.
Don't ask me.
Let's roll.
All right, we're watching.
Can't finish him that way. Hold him down.
Move. Back off!
Badass. Now, if you're just listening, this is where they kind of track down and they hunt. They get one Reaper, and they can't kill it. That's another dumb thing.
The Reaper turned. This is one of their crewmates.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. But
who was that? Priest?
They're in the club. Pearl? Priest?
Priest. is eventually turning, and they really can't realize nobody gets. Even after they tell them, it's only UV works. Nobody listens. Nobody ever listens. They got the guns with the UV lights.
Not even Blade listened.
Nope, they don't listen. They're too arrogant. And
they're
Blade,
the bloodlust.
The bloodlust. They wanna shoot them guns. And Blade, to finish him off, points his gun, but instead of shooting it at him, shoots it straight back without even looking, and opens up a hole and obliterates the Reaper with sunlight, somehow saving and not hitting anybody else miraculously.
Well, it's Kim, that one
precision.
Guy. Like hit his foot. I don't know if he... But yeah, I thought that was a cool death scene.
My clip is similar.
Let's see it.
Yeah, we're gonna pull it up. So this happens a little bit before, and we'll just go right into it.
Think they're on the prowl?
Yeah, they're on the prowl here.
God, it'd be so easy. Got you.
I just like the constant booming music. You got Blade's cheeky little fucking smile at the end.
Mm-hmm.
The mouthing of, I don't know. That was kind of funny.
It's a cool club scene.
Yeah, I like how no one even bats an eye with the guns.
Right, you're like,
yeah,
just pointing a gun at a club. Yeah, it's cool. But similar, Blade just being kind of a cheeky little badass.
Just being himself.
All right, and then let's do grants.
Can you blush? Hey, kid.
Yeah.
He needs his shades. I was wondering, where's he gonna get his shades, man?
See, I don't know. I think this film was more badass than the first.
That was a cool scene. I'll give that to you. I mean, there's sprinkles of goodies.
Yeah, but that was a good kill. Split in half vertically.
From the shades after.
From an uppercut too. Yeah.
If just the story was just not there.
Yeah.
It was cool fighting scenes, but I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm looking over some of there's just too many dumb things. Like what I think this film takes the cake for the worst ever trope of being bitten and like not telling people when the huge guy gets I mean, he gets bit right on his neck, and the girl like walks up to him and she's like, "Did he bite? Did you get bit?" And it's just all the way on his neck. He's like, "No, just my back." Like, and then
that was that was scary too. That Reaper was grabbing his back, digging his nails in. See, that was like some Del Toro. I feel like that was nightmare. But yeah, then he was like, "No, I'm good." And then the rest of the time he saw him, he just like covered it up. They had a good death. That should have been someone's pick. I thought that was a good death. where it was like a couple. They both died together from the sewer grate. Remember?
Yeah. I guess it wasn't as cool for someone to pick it, but I didn't like him because of that stuff.
We all picked ones where Blade was kind of being a badass, so.
Which is kind of the whole series, so.
Yeah, so it's hard. That would have been like, a fourth. But,
I have another.
okay.
Yeah. I don't know where this will fit, but I have my favorite quote from the movie.
Lay it on us, Quinn.
It's Reinhardt, and they're explaining. I forgot what they were explaining. They wanted to. They were like dissecting the Reapers, but his quote was, "They want us to spray on us some suck puppy's nut juice."
Oh, that was the pheromones.
Yeah,
the Reaper pheromones.
I had to go back. I was like, what? What?
Was that, what was the ice skating one? Like ice skating uphill? Was that like ad lib too? Like, you think he came up with that on the spot?
Motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate
uphill. Do you think Reinhardt came up with that on the spot?
No, I don't know.
I think that was on the page.
Suck puppy,
the writer was like, I got a good one. I got a good one. All right. So one of my favorite words or phrases is criticized by creation. It's easy for all of us. We're quarter life critics. We sit here, we critique.
Armchair.
We say that plot wasn't very good. A lot of holes. Didn't do this. Didn't do that. This is not very. I didn't care about that. Let's create. Each of you, you're gonna be in the hot seat here. And Quinn, you mentioned, this was a good pitch. The second one.
Yeah.
I would like to hear your guys. We've got a $50 million budget.
Ooh.
I'm the executive producer.
Ooh.
Blade 3.
Blade.
And you guys could be the, Del Toro's out. Guillermo out. Dude's hitting the fucking road like yesterday. We're looking for a new director.
Wow.
One of you two.
Ooh.
Let's see. $50 million Blade 3 budget. Who wants to go first?
Quinn, you go.
Me. Give it to me.
Quinn.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Actually, well, I'm gonna do you one even better. I'm gonna pitch you one, but I'm also gonna make Blade 2 better. Blade 2, just real quickly. Blade.
Is he trying to confuse
this is how
me?
he's trying to get the job, and then he's trying to.
I go above and beyond. I'm a company man. You know that.
Yeah.
Blade 2. What they should have done is they should have brought the focus back to Blade. Blade is what matters. The whole movie, there should have been no twist. It should have been as described. This pathogen that mutated, and the Reapers become super strong, and the vampires are actually concerned, and they want to team up with Blade, but Blade has trust issues. Blade can't trust a suck puppy, and the whole movie should have been about him trying to come to terms with that, and there might have been a different twist at the end, but the focus should have been on Blade. And I think that would have been a cooler film. Also, if you die, if I get the job, if you die by sunlight, it'll be consistent too. In this movie, that one girl, she's like, "Take me to the sunrise," and it's beautiful. She's like ethereal. I just think back to the first movie where Deacon Frost took that guy out, and he was like, "Ah!" he exploded and
fire. Yeah.
I think his head came out like a volcano.
Yeah, like his eyes came out of his head. So that my movies are going to be consistent with the OG Blade. And let me tell you what I'm going to do for Blade 3. So I
was ready to give you the job already.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? Well, maybe you won't after this pitch. This is a little bit outlandish. I was trying to think outside the box. Yeah. And what have we learned from Blade 1 and Blade 2? What do we know about vampires?
They
don't
like sunlight.
What do they like?
Clubs and techno music.
Exactly. So, Blade 3, picture this. Blade is going to go undercover as a DJ. He's going to be DJ Blood.
He would be a real good DJ.
Yeah.
DJ Blood.
So he's gonna be like Marshmallow. He's gonna wear like a big blood droplet on his head, and he's gonna DJ, and the whole movie will be about him rising through the ranks to infiltrate into the DJ vampire or the club scene. And so, he'll have to fight enemies he's never fought before, like city council for securing permits to build venue spaces. Yeah. He'll have to sell tickets. Blade has never sold a ticket before, so he's got to get this grassroots marketing going for his new DJ Blood. And the culmination of the film, I think, is there'll be some bad. It'll all, they have to convince the vampire lord, the vampire king, to get out to the club too. He's like some introverted guy. He doesn't really like going out. But everyone's like, oh, you got to go to the club. And eventually they're going to get him to the club, and it'll come full circle. And if you remember from the first Blade, in the opening scene, Blade 1, they had at one point they hit the button and the blood sprinklers went on. And there's going to be some crazy buildup. And then Blade's going to rip off his blood mask, and he's going to say some dumbass line like, it's time to drink, motherfuckers. And like, he's going to smash a button, and then like garlic's going to drop from the ceiling. Yeah. And all the vampires in the Lord are going to die.
Or that blue stuff.
All right. That is outlandish. Really, that is out there, but I have to give it to you. That was well done. Good. Grant, that was a tough act to follow. I don't know if you should have nominated Quinn to go first.
So, Blade. For the third movie, the third installment, I was thinking we need what made The Matrix so good, I think, is you had this kind of this crew, this posse. And we have Whistler and we have Blade, and I think there's a lot of joy in seeing that. And I think that's why I like Scud so much. But we don't. It's just them two. So I think, and I'm still working on the big threat, but it's going to be the vampire threat is growing. It's growing to the point where they need help fighting the vampires, and now they're going to have to start recruiting other daywalkers. And so I was looking into what a Blade Walker is. It's a specific. Where did I see this?
A daywalker?
Yeah, but it has. It's like it's a vampire lore. It has a specific.
They're in the lore.
Yeah,
it's like a damp free. Dampire.
Daywalker Blade. Sorry, I should have done my homework a little bit more. Daywalker. Anyways, they're gonna have to recruit
DHAMPIR.
And usually, and they're in lore, and what usually it's a male vampire has to team up, and they have a partnership with a female human, and then they'll have offspring. So they're gonna have to start recruiting an army, other people, and build up, and then you're gonna have Blade and Co. And this was just gonna be, we're not gonna get too crazy. Maybe Blade, maybe it's less of a recruitment, and there's just that you find another. I think we need to expand Blade's posse. We got Whistler, we got Blade. We went back to get Whistler because we missed him so much. Now we're gonna have Blade and Co. against the vampires, and they're gonna have a showdown. And hear me out. Instead of calling it Blade 3, we're gonna call it Blade Trinity.
That's not fair.
That's a good idea. What if we did Blade, but instead of an E, it's a 3?
I like the Trinity because it gets the Matrix in people's heads.
Well, you could have 3. They're just getting one more person, and that's the third, the Trinity.
Ooh,
they need one more recruit.
They do always kill off like the new guy.
what if Dr. Karen comes back? She was a pretty young thing that got away. She also wasn't in this. I thought she was going to be in this film.
I'm confused where she went.
She seemed like she
I was
had
like, she
the
must have
skills
died.
needed to help. They can't.
And
just
also, would you just leave? Like, there's this urgent threat to mankind, and you're just like, I got to go back to my research. Sorry, Blade.
Fucking job. I gotta pay the bills.
Those were really compelling things. So I think that what we would do, definitely call it Trinity. That's great. That's gold. That's gold. So maybe DJ Blood does like back-to-back sets to find the third, and he's like, who is my counterpart, on the stage?
The third person
and that's
is a
part
DJ?
of the tryout. Yeah. But like, and in the final battle, when he goes to like, fight the vampires, the other guy fights first and Blade joins him.
Yeah, see,
Like,
I
that
think we
was
need
their
to bring
mission
it
at the
back
first
to
fight.
the Blade 1 where what's his lady who
Karen.
Dr. Karen.
she's just gone, right?
I think so.
I like feel like she died and I missed it. Like, in
No,
the
her last
post-credit
thing was
scene.
like, I can fix you. And Blade's like, I need to kill more of them.
I don't want to be fixed.
I feel like I missed a post-credit scene
But-
because I don't buy that. I missed a post-credit scene where she got murdered.
I do want to bring it back to the scientist. She was working on a cure, and maybe there's a way, to make people more likely. Yeah, just recruit. I think you could tie in what she started with the science and creating things for the crew. So maybe you have vampires that want to turn. Maybe they're sick of it. Maybe they think, they're done clubbing. They're 30 now. The hangovers are too bad. They want to do something more.
Maybe they're
important with
40.
their life. Maybe they're 40.
So I agree. And I think, what we've been proposing are good for first movies, filling out the gang, selling tickets. Those are good first movie things.
Take how much in fees?
Yeah, Blade leads a strike. But for the final entry in our Blade saga, I feel like there needs to be like a nice little bow. We need to tie it nicely. So that you guys are both on the team, but we might just have to do some more.
Who's directing?
editing.
Who's got the job?
Quinn's got the job.
Oh, yeah.
I want the job. I'm not working with
I'm not
that
working with this
fool.
You're with Del Toro, then get out of here, buddy. All right, so
It was a fun exercise. I
That was
enjoyed
good.
we've just got one final segment here today.
it.
Patented review.
GPQ.
The GPQ patented review? Where we
What is
decide whether...
The GPQ patented review, correct?
What is
yes,
it?
sir.
I think it's where we decide whether the true rating of Blade 2 is over under the IMDb rating. And
We're rocking 6.7 on IMDb.
how many votes we got, Pat?
I don't have it up, so let me pull it up.
231,000, I'll tell you.
That's pretty light,
Wow.
honestly.
Really? That was more than I would expect.
This is a high budget film. Or high.
These were pretty big movies back in It's a Marvel movie,
It's actually not, technically.
Well, it's not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it is a Marvel character.
Yeah,
I'd say it's a
Marvel
Marvel
regained the film rights to the character in 2012.
Where'd they go?
So I guess it's these.
But the
guys.
first one was a Marvel movie. So the second
it?
one wasn't a Marvel movie?
This is on the Blade, the third Blade wiki.
But it's a Marvel comic book inspired.
It does say Marvel's first successful film. I don't know.
It just
I would
came
say
from
it's-
New Line Cinema. I don't know. It's probably just some licensing.
Yeah, it's a
Smash.
Marvel movie.
I mean, he's a comic book character in a Marvel comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe other people had the rights to
Sorry.
use them.
Sorry for getting us off track.
That's why he didn't get the job.
He appears in Spider-Man movies or Spider-Man comic books. So if you're in the Spider-Man, I don't know.
He's
he's a
not in
Marvel
the
character.
universe yet, though.
Probably Yeah, they don't like black people in the universe. For whatever
They're
reason.
coming. Just
They got to animate
2025.
them. Yeah. All right. So over or under the 6.7. Quinn, let's start it off.
I'm gonna go with under. I had more fun talking about my Blade 3 movie than I did watching this film. And I thought there were some good, solid parts. I think some of the clips were pretty sweet. But the overall cohesiveness was losing me. I was a lost puppy. And again, just more Blade. Just make it all about Blade. They got the cool killing and running around kicking ass, but like you need some Blade character development, I think, especially in the second film.
And they had a good idea. They just didn't execute.
Yeah.
Grant?
I'll have to go under as well. I honestly didn't think. I think I probably liked this better than the first film. I might be the only one here that thought that, but I thought it was, I don't know, more compelling. I don't know. I liked it more. I thought the first one was, maybe because I knew what to expect with this one, with the Blade cheesiness that you kind of have to buy into. But still, it's really not my cup of tea. It's I don't know. I don't think I enjoy action films in general that much, and I don't have a sound bar, so that might be a reason. That's on my Christmas list, so that'll change.
Did it? If only there was a time to buy something. You've got a heavy discount.
Well,
You probably get a heavier discount a week than you would have
You
on
just
Black Friday.
get it secondhand too. There's a lot of get on Facebook
People
Marketplace.
I am going under as well. I had a hard time watching the screen during this movie. I just didn't want to go there. I couldn't. My mind wasn't there either. I just was a little bit.
That's where I was at. I don't know.
I just wasn't there. I wasn't with my boy.
Yeah.
I wasn't with him in the trenches.
Maybe did you partake in any
No,
fun
I was
activities
just
in either one?
no. I was bought in. I was ready, and I just found myself more interested in couch cushions and my hands.
Just anything.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll go under. I did like the first one though.
If I had some other software, I could go. Well, I heard the third one's not supposed to be the best either. So.
Well, we'll have to wait until December 13th when Grant is our director for the final installment.
Yeah. So next week, in 2 weeks from today, is going to be last installment, Blade Trinity, 2004 American superhero film, written and directed by David S. Goyer, who also wrote the screenplays to Blade 1 and Blade 2. I don't know. I'm trying to see what others.
Ryan Reynolds is in this one.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. So it's Trinity,
Jessica
and there's two other. There's Jessica. Who?
Biel?
Jessica Biel.
Dominic Purcell from Fast and Furious.
Jessica Biel, Ryan Reynolds. I don't know Jessica Biel.
You haven't heard that name?
No.
Shooting some random shit.
And of course, our boy Wesley Snipes. The third and final installment, The War Between Humans and Vampires, continues. Blade has been framed for numerous murders by vampire leader Danica Talos, who is determined to lead her bloodthirsty compatriots to victory. Blade must team up with a band of rogue vampire hunters to save humanity from his most challenging enemy yet, Dracula.
Oh!
Hey,
Bombshell.
honestly, I think the synopsis sounds like the best so far. But I've heard through the grapevine, and you have heard the same thing, Quinn. Apparently, that this one is
Dracula.
not the best. It got the most negative reviews from critics.
Okay. Well,
Who knows? Maybe we'll have fun with it. All right. Well, that's the end of it. It was wonderful having you guys. You want to do the little outro, my boy?
Yes. Thank you all for listening. We have a social media presence on Instagram, so please follow us there. Our handle is Quarter Life Critics, one word, one string there. Just put that in, Quarter Life Critics. Take all of the words and just push them together into one big word, and that's our handle. That's where we post everything, so you'll see us post every episode that comes out there. And please feel free to DM us there, or let us know how we're doing. We appreciate you guys watching and sticking through us while we're doing some technical difficulties with switching or exploring other streaming options. So thank you guys. Please like our posts and share them with your friends if you enjoy this. And in the meantime, enjoy the cold weather, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.